So these guys come around door to door, knocking on your door, trying to sell you solar panels, or they're knocking on your door like, give me a water sample so I can tell you if you need a filtration system. Well, let's talk about if that's even good for you as a homeowner. I'm Casey Jenkins with Oak Realty, and these guys are going to knock on your door and they're going to sit down and they're going to be like, look how much you can save on your, at least for solar, on your electric bill, and this adds so much value to your house, and this is going to be great, and you'll just, have a loan, and when you sell the house, you can just sell the house with the loan and the next buyer will take it over. That's not really how it happens. What really happens is you get this solar and you put it on your roof. It doesn't really save you a ton on your electric bill because in reality, the times that it would save you and it would be getting a lot of power are the times that you're not in your house. It's midday when the sun's above you and it's shining on all your solar panels, not during the evening and the morning when the sun's not always out. And that's when you're using your most electric, is in the evening and the morning. And most of these solars don't have a battery bank where they're throwing extra power in for you to use later. They're just making up and going, okay, well, we're getting in this much power, you're using this much power, so we don't have to take extra power from the grid. And in Richmond, they're not backfeeding the grid. So you're not getting credits for the extra power that's coming from this solar that you're not using because they're not backfeeding into the grid. Dominion put an end to that. And then on top of that, when you put solar on your house, you've got to think your roof is going to deteriorate. Your roof is going to need changing at some point. And when you have solar on your house, it's going to go faster because you're ending up heating up that roof behind the solar. And it's going to cost you more money to replace that roof because you have to take the solar off, replace the roof, and then put the solar back on. On top of that, you've got more holes in your roof because how are you going to hold the solar on but to drill through the roof? So you've got more leak points in that roof. And then the whole myth of it adding value to your house, here in Richmond, it doesn't add value to your house. A lot of people actually don't like it and run away from it. And then the other piece is if you have a loan on it, a lot of first-time home buyers or just buyers in general don't want to take over that loan because then they'd have to qualify for the loan for the solar and for the loan for the house and for all the other debt that they have. And so what I see is a lot of buyers say no to that, and a lot of sellers end up having to pay that solar loan off with the equity that's in their house, and then they walk away with very, very little from their house. A lot of the same items go for the water filtration system, where it doesn't really behoove you, especially if you're already on county water. If you're on county water, they have their own filtration system. They're doing their own stuff. They're adding the additives and things in that needs it. And so having a water filtration system in your house just does the same thing the county did. If you have a well, that's a totally different subject. A water filtration system might be great for you because your well has minerals and things from the ground that we don't know about until we test and can leave rings like red rings and blue rings and green rings in our tubs and stuff if they're not cleaned regularly. So well water and filtration systems, totally different. County water and filtration systems, you already have that. You're paying the county for that. So when you're thinking about solar and things that attach loans to your house, really ask an agent, like, does this help me? Does this help me at all? Does it help me with getting my, electric bill down? Does it help me with upping the price of the house? Does it help me with my roof? What are the pros and cons? Because that way you can make a great decision and you can know, hey, this actually helps, or I shouldn't spend $40,000 to $50,000 on a solar because it's really not going to help me here. And then the last thing is solar panels catch on fire. And if they're on your roof and they catch fire, they're going to catch your house on fire. And so that's another thing to weigh in the cons of like, hey, do I want to take that risk of having a fire hazard sitting on my roof? So if you've got more questions, if you want to think about it more or talk about it more, give me a call, shoot me a text. Love to chat with you, but don't forget to like and subscribe.